Hello you beautiful people, Chachuk's over here, and today I want to talk to you about the end game content, the level 60 content in New World. If you are familiar with the game, maybe even pre-launch as in alpha, beta state, you know there was a big controversial discussion from players and content creators. Some saying that the game is in a really good state and can be launched, some saying there's not enough game content, there's not enough end game, you reach level 60 and what do I do now? Yeah, I reached level 60 and I'm about to delete my character and start leveling another one. I'm joking. You have plenty of endgame content to do, a lot of grind to do, and I'll go through what I found and discovered in the last couple of days since I reached level 60. Granted, that content might be a bit repetitive for some people, but still, it's an MMO, it's grindy, it's supposed to be grindy, so get your big boy grinding pants on. Real talk specific level 60 plus endgame content. There are, I would say, three things which are related. One for pretty much PvE, which is kinda has a combination with crafting and professions, which is the second one, and third one being PvP. So there are three big things. Well, I have 4 fingers, doesn't matter. There are three big things that you can do and at endgame. When it comes to PvE, you will reach level 60 with, I would say, roughly 470 to 480 gear score. Gear score is this little number over here, which shows you how strong are the equipment you are using at the moment. If you're leveling, progressing pretty nice, you should be around that. Definitely 450. They actually found out that the moment you reach level 60, your watermark is 500 gear score. What is the watermark? Well, I'll get to that in a moment and I'll explain it. But the main idea of a PvE player or a general player of any MMO, especially a New World one, is that you reach max level and you want to improve your gear, your items, your weapons up to the maximum of the biggest of the baddest items out there. Currently, the maximum gear score in New World is 600. That's the item level that you find the legendary items, and that's the maximum you can get overall equipped as well. Now, how to get that type of items? Well, you have several things that you can do PvE wise. Corrupted zones, elite zones, which can be just elite zones or corrupted breaches. You have dungeons, end game dungeons, and arena bosses, again, which is specific end game. All these three big things will drop loot for you, will drop items and weapons, but they will drop based on your watermark. And let's break down what is the watermark. Basically, the game has a system, a hidden system, in which the moment you reach level, as I said, 60, your watermark is at 500. So meaning that if you do level 60 plus content, everything that I stated before, you have a chance to drop level 500 gear score 500 loot. And then if you run the same zone, the same dungeon over and over again, as you drop higher, as you might imagine, from 500 it can drop 505, 510, as for example this staff. I have this staff, it's 510. The moment I'm gonna run probably the same dungeon, there is a chance I'll drop another life staff at 515 or 520. So that means that number is the watermark. The watermark is increased by the drops of the set loot in your bags. You don't have to equip the loot, you don't have to equip so to have the watermark saved. Basically, the moment it drops in your bag, you have it saved, so then it increases the chances of getting higher and higher items up to, even as I said, legendaries. Keep in mind that this watermark is tied to each and every weapon or each and every slot. So you can have, for example, life staff watermark up to 600, and you can get the beast of the life staffs out there in the game. But if your hatchet, hypothetically speaking, it's only at 550, you will still have to gradually increase that to 555, 560, and so on. And it's the same for their type of pieces or type of gear. Everything needs to be upgraded gradually. So that means that by running the end game content, you will slowly increase it, even though realizing, like as I said, the moment you have it in the bags, it's increased. It's there, it's gonna drop better and better. So when we are talking about like the exact moment you reach level 60, what you should do, I stated run elite zones, which are the ones you found in Shattered Mountains, Eden Grove, as I said, the ones that are level 60. You have to do the ones that are level 60 plus relevant. So you have elite zones in Shattered Mountains, Eden Grove, Reekwater, and that's about it. Probably Abalone Scale has one, but the most frequent ones players are using and with the best loot, that is Reekwater and the ones up here. You see these elite zones by these icons all over the place. You have smaller ones, Mines, Mirgar, which is like one of the biggest ones. You just run it. You run through the elite zone. You kill the mobs, you kill the elites, you kill the bosses. Each elite has an elite loot chest that you can loot it up for more items and better items eventually. But those elite chests in these zones are having a 24-hour cooldown. So if you loot it today at this time, it means that it will be beneficial to go there tomorrow after this the same time, no, I'm saying 24 hours, to loot it again. You can run the zone day in, day out, and you can still get loot from the mobs itself, but you won't be able to loot the chests, so it's a win-win if you just move from zone to zone and then come back tomorrow for another series. Other than these elite zones, you have dungeons, the 2 dungeons at level 60, and the arenas. I would recommend exactly the moment you reach level 60, not to run the dungeons nor the arenas, especially the arenas, because they are really harder. They scale a bit higher when it comes to difficulty, so you would want to improve your gear score a bit from the base moment you are 60 to a bit more than that. Another key thing to improve your gear score a bit and to have access to some really big items the moment exactly when you reach level 60 is to run the quest chains for the 580 weapons. Each weapon has a 580 quest. You have access to these quests if you or when you reach level 60. You gotta have most of, if not all, the side stories completed in Great Cleave and in Eden Grove, and then the moment you reach level 60, and another key thing, when you reach level 20 mastery of a weapon, they will pop up on the map and you can pick them up. These quests are a long series of chain quests delivering you to a lot of elite zones in all over the place, all over the map. It can deliver you to level 60 elite zones, it can deliver you to level 30 elite zones. But again, you might find them repetitive because each quest is like kill this amount of mobs, kill this boss, loot this chest, or loot these things from the mobs. But in the long run, I would say it's really worth it because you get access at the end of it to these 580 weapons, and you can get one for each. So far I have axe, sword, and the shield, but the more I'll get mastery in other weapons, I'll do them as well for a big pump in weapons, in items, and in damage. Here you have another thing you can do the moment you reach level 60 and in your pursuit of getting better and better gear. Now, if you are not so much into PvE, or if you want to plan ahead and prepare for better loot, which I said, crafting legendaries. Legendaries can drop indeed from all this content, but at the same time you can craft legendaries, and in the long run the best gear will be from the crafted ones, because on the crafted ones you will be able to add the stats that you want and add the perks that you want. So if you want to plan ahead and prepare, or if you want to look at a different approach of level 60 content, and if you are a damn workaholic and you like this stuff in games, thank God New World provides a really good immersive feeling to professions and gathering and crafting, then yeah, professions, gathering, crafting. You can start improving the moment you are like highest level. You can start improving on all these crafting, gathering, and refining. They all go up to 200 skill, and they will unlock really good recipes, items, as I said, legendary crafting of both armors and weapons, which in the long run will come in handy, will be beneficial, and it will make you to be the biggest, baddest blaster in a tournament, right? But again, this content might be a bit, again, slight boring for some people, just because, you know, it's tedious to craft so much, to gather so much loot or wood, whatever, skin animals. But at the same time, it might be something you find quite, you know, easy, relaxing. You can like do it while you have like a TV show or a stream, my stream for example, on another monitor. So yeah, can be a thing. But if you're not that big of a PvE boy, if you're not that big of a workaholic when it comes to trade skills, what else is there to do kind of related to endgame? Well, you can still doing massive amounts of PvP. Run the faction quests over and over again, gangbang people in open world. Why not? Play with your friends into plan with your friends into invading other territories and declaring war, participate in fort wars. That's one of the juiciest PvP content, I would say. It is available in the game. So you can still do this, but you can't really say this is endgame content because you were able to do this since the beginning of the game almost, right? But I would say it's beneficial to do this at endgame because it's a better min-maxing of your gear, stats, you know, weapons, strength to mastery, which is a big thing in PvP as well. Plus, if you don't rely on a big company in which you participate into these fort wars, at least on my server, all the fort wars, all the invasions are kinda shifting to level 60 people. So if you're not level 60, you are not kinda invited to defend or to attack with another company. Only if you have, you know, benefits into, if you know someone, if you banged someone in that company, or like if you let someone from the company bang your mom, or like the entire company banging your mom, and then they get you in just because, you know, you're a nice guy, you know, things like this, if you bribe them. But if not, the entire PvP scene, I think, would feel greater at max level. Tied to PvP, which is currently closed. We assume it's closed, and hopefully it's not a bug. And the big feature that a lot of players were waiting for to get access once you are max level, because it's exclusive max level, level 60, is the Outpost Rush. Those 20 versus 20 battlegrounds, heavy PvP battlegrounds combined with a little bit of PvE. But at the moment, they are closed alongside the corrupted breaches of level 65. So basically, the Asset Staff tier 5 does not work. You can kill the mobs in these corrupted breaches, but you're not able to close the corrupted breach with your Asset Staff. So you don't get the benefit, you don't get the loot out of it, the chest, the Assault, the gold, and so on. And the Outpost Rush is the same. The battleground is not available. It's closed. We do think that these two features are time gated and closed by Amazon, so they are not. It's not a bug. It's closed by Amazon. Nothing official was released about that so far, but might be some type of content which is gated for future weeks. I hope when I say future weeks and not future months, because we should have this in the game. Even though, as I said, the game is pretty grindy and provides a lot of things that you can do at end game, it does feel repetitive, I'm not gonna lie. The quests are pretty much the same. The zones, the elite zones, I mean, you just run with a big group and kill everything in your sight and loot chests, and slowly get better loot. Professions are professions: gather, craft, back to city, craft, gather, craft. PvP is fun and exciting, but all these things, as I said, are subjective. So I do understand when people said there's no content in the game. If you're a player which only likes one type of this content and other things are not appealing, well, then I totally understand you when you say, oh, there's no content in this game, there's no end game content, right? But in theory, there's a lot of content, because up to the point in which you can say you have all the weapons at 20 mastery, all the professions at 200 skill points, all the gear at 600, you will have a lot of hours to put into this game. But we look at all this with hope, and we look at future patches and future development with quite a big hope. At least I am. I tend to be the optimistic type of person, but you should too, because based on some data mining and based on some leak, there's another big chunk of content about to drop. We don't know when, but a content which will reveal 6 new dungeons, some new features and new systems in the game, both PvE and PvP related, and a wider zone, a wider area with more quests, probably even more levels. Again, all these are not 100% guaranteed, approved by Amazon information, but man, hackers, man, like all the internet is full of hackers, man, data mining and, you know, leeching from the big boys. So
could be a thing. So we look at the future of New World with hope. But to come by to the initial discussion, does this game have enough endgame content? Based on what type of player you are, I do think it does. I do think you have a lot of activities that you can do, specific endgame content, and even more than that. Please let me know in the comment section below, what do you like to do in New World, endgame or not related, or what would you like to do, what kind of systems or what kind of new features would you like or changed. And until next time, thank you for watching. Drop a like if you liked the video, drop a share with your friends if you want to keep the internet alive and put a loaf of bread in my mouth. Well, not quite a loaf, but you know. And for more discussion and live content, I'm waiting you daily on twitch.tv/Chachux, streaming over there from 1 p.m. Eastern European time for many hours onwards. Links in the description, follow me on my other social media, and we can chat and hang out over there as well. Again, thank you for watching, have a great day further on, and keep on grinding, baby, because you have a lot of grind to do if you want to become a big boy.